Hey guys, Tony here. So let's do some quick TA on space. As of right now, it did create a gap between the 29 and about like the $30 level, so that might get filled eventually. But as of right now, I am pretty bearish on space. It does seem like it's gonna keep dropping for a while. I already kind of forecasted that it actually might drop back down to the 22-ish dollar level. It might kind of stay stagnant around there and then kind of consolidate, right? But the last time we actually had this crossover on the MACD on this big of an overbought level. From peak high to peak low, we actually did. Let me see. We did a solid 45% drop off. Last time we had a crossover like this on the MACD, 45, right? Yeah. So, I mean, if anything, we might even see. Yeah, if anything, yeah, dude. I mean, if we might actually even, if the momentum stays like this, we might actually see a drop off all the way down to about, what price is this? $19, around $20. So I do think there's a big chance that we might drop down all the way to $20. As far as on the weekly chart goes, we are we're still pretty bullish on that regard. But as far as on the daily, we actually just crossed the MACD, and space tends to actually respect the MACD on the day chart relatively well, especially when it's at these overbought levels. So last time we did call out this run up from like the $18-17 level all the way up to almost touching $40. And I did say, I told you guys, like back when it was at 17-18 bucks, I'm like, you know what, I do think that it's going to get close to $40 by the end of the year. And guess what, it did. At peak we almost touched $36, so relatively close to the $40 that I forecasted. I do think that we have a really good shot at going all the way back down to $20. As of right now, I would probably call. I don't want to say that there's a floor yet, but I would definitely be buying puts right now, at least 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, a month out, and just kind of riding out the waves right now, right? So, I'd buy maybe 2, 3, 4 puts out, ride it down to the next bottom level, which is about $24. Maybe take some profit, let the rest ride, and then if it goes down to $22, take some profit, let it ride, and then if it goes all the way down to $20, I would take all the profit off of that, and then just go ahead and start buying calls immediately when it hits $20. I do think $20. I don't want to say it's the floor, but just from recent MACD crossovers and what the average reduction is, it does seem like a really good place to start buying. To start buying calls on space or buying shares, whatever you want, right? So I do think $19 would be a pretty good place to start stacking up on space, because there's like always, like I believe in the theory that gaps always get filled, and you guys can see this gap right here, right in between the 29, 20, 880 mark to around the $29-60 mark. So this little area right here, this is a gap, and I do think that this is going to get filled. I'll delete this. Let me see if I can actually find something to kind of help you guys kind of visualize this a little bit better. Let me take that away. That doesn't work. Anyways, see if I can find a square trend. Well, I can't find one right now, so I mean that doesn't matter, right? But yeah, there's a gap right there. I do think it's going to get filled eventually. So anything right now, I wouldn't start purchasing right now. I would only start buying if we start hitting that $23.88 level. Then I would probably start buying long term for shares. But as of right now, I am pretty bearish, as this tends to respect space tends to respect the actual drops like this, right? And last time we did stay bearish for, let me see, we stayed bearish for 43 days, which is a pretty long time. So we stayed bearish for about a month and a half last time we had this MACD cross on the daily chart for space. So I know I have it here for 13 days, but more than likely it's probably going to stay bullish up until the way that it's going down. I actually think we might stay bullish for maybe like the next 2 weeks or so. You never know, right? This can always jump right back with really good news on fundamentals, right? But as of right now, I do think it has a really good shot of dropping back down to $20. And as of right now, any any jumps that it's gonna have going back up, I'll probably be buying puts. So it might do something like this, right? Like it might have like a small little reversal from here. It might jump all the way back down, maybe to like around this area, you know, fill this gap right here, and then it'll probably go right back down. So I do think this can definitely happen. It might do this, and then it might just go all the way down like that. I do think that's definitely going to be a pretty good possibility, but I think for the most part, it's just going to be doing this. So as of right now where it is, I do think it's just going to go straight down right here. It's going to go down to $20 mark, maybe 22, and then bounce off, and then probably go back and fill that gap. But this is what I don't think, once it fills that gap, I don't think it's going to skyrocket. If it does fill that gap, I would probably buy puts on that. But yeah, as of right now, super bearish on space. Fully expected to go back down to maybe 22 bucks. Holding puts right now, and I'm not planning on selling until we at least hit maybe $24 or $22 on space. So